How's it going? Wooden Spoon Supercoach here. Just the one update to the prize pool. Out of all these bets, the only one that got up was the Hiroti anytime try scorer. So we've gone up a little bit, not too much to mention there. I need to update the lost tab actually. There we go. Prize pool's still above the lost category, but it is catching up. So realistically, it's likely that it's going to overtake. But whatever. Let's move over to the scores for the week. Starting off with Raiders Sharks, a nice start to the week with Nicholson getting a 91, absolutely huge. For a guy with a 32 break even, he's going to make some nice cash and push that break even down even more. Horsburgh, shock, not a sell, still doing just fine. Nico Hines with a 48 is okay. It is starting to become a little bit of a worry, but at least his floor seems to be relatively high. And Paddy, slowly but surely getting better, so maybe I can just let him plod along in my hooker 2, and eventually maybe he becomes a play, maybe he becomes an upgrade option. Don't hate it. Other notable scores here are Trindle with a 17. That's pretty awful. I don't know if he got a HIA or something. Sorry if the audio was making some weird noises up to now. The headset was feeling a bit loose. Fanua Blake with a 73. I think I'm going to be looking at bringing him in pretty soon for the Origin period. I think the next gun I bring into my team will probably be him. And Nikora with a decent score as well. He always pops up into relevance throughout the year at some point. So he does still have quite a high break even, but if that does begin to stabilise, he could be a good option for cover in Origin. I will start looking at making some Origin prep videos, players to target from teams that cover good, from teams that have good availability. And maybe like pockets of players. So I could be like, you start with this set of players, finish with this set of players. Cleary with the vice that I should have taken in the end. I'm not too upset about it. I ended up having it on Haas, who scored a 50-something. The captain options didn't really pop off this week too much, other than Cleary, and Gutherson also scored quite well. But I ended up with a 12.04. I'm probably going to drop some ranks, but at least I feel like a lot didn't go that well in my team, so I still haven't had that amazing week where I get a 14, even a 1500, but it'll come. Isaiah Yo's come back and repaid me for holding him, and Purdue, he's an option now. Cowboys are finally starting to click into gear a little bit. I mean, they did just beat the Panthers, but like, what's going on here? They do still have To'o and Dylan Edwards to come back, but still it is a worry. This cheapy Tom Jenkins that everyone got in, bloody hell. We're going to have some rich teams this year with all the cheapies we've been blessed with. Other notable scores? Nothing really, to be honest, other than the highlighted guys, so we'll move on. I'm going to grab some water. My mouth is a fucking desert. This was an amazing game. I was thinking about that cutout pass from Latrell for the next couple of days. Just the balls to even attempt that in that moment. Like, I'm pretty sure it was as the commentary said, but not many people throw that pass, but Latrell does. So he scored a 51. He's going to drop a little bit. You wouldn't be too upset with it if you did bring him in. I know a guy left a comment on the last video saying he's doing it, so you wouldn't be too upset with that. He was playing in the centres. Hopefully he goes back to fullback soon-ish, and then the masses will probably jump on him. Hubner doing fantastically. He's just Wayne's guy. I think he's a nice, safe pick. If Wayne brought him from the Dolphins, he's not going to play him for 20 minutes off the bench. Sandon Smith, glad I didn't sell him. I sold Metcalf instead. Just because he's going to rise a little bit more and make trading a little bit easier, but he is still well and truly on the chopping block. I do not trust him to not score AE nightmare scores moving forward. Toya is kind of peaking. He's still going up a little bit, but if we get yet another cheap centre wing come along, I wouldn't hate flipping Toya out. The thing to consider with Toya, though, is that he is great Origin cover. The Roosters play all the major buys. So I think it's probably worth holding on to him and then selling after the Origin period. Because that availability he's going to give you is more useful than the cash you might lose on him by holding him for that long. And same could be said with Sand in there, but Sam Walker is coming back soonish. Still plenty of time for Sandon to make more money though, so It's just it's good to have these things in mind nice and early, so that any moves you do make between now and then, you've just got that in the back of your mind, and you make sure it's not contradictory. James Tedesco is being very stubborn, and it looks like he's going to be not cheap for the Origin period, but I still think I'm going to try and do it. I am trying to bring in AFB, so Tedesco would have to be the next guy to bring in. It's a lot of money to make, but I think we've got the cheapies to do it. Um, Other notable scores, obviously Wong with a huge score there. Humphreys with the head knock. If I got to pick everyone I wanted at the start, Humphreys would have been in there, but I couldn't make the money work, so at least that's worked out for me this time round. Cody Walker with a 9. Did he get injured, or is he just 45? I don't know. I think that's all for that game. Iongi with his first ton. So you'd be very happy if you held him. This will make him earn a nice bit of money for the next few weeks, as long as he doesn't shit the bed too hard. So well done if you still held on to him. Same goes with Dill Brown. I feel like a lot of people would have jumped off him by now. He's still in 10% of teams, so fairly well earned. Gutherson. This was a guy that I said I preferred Pap over, and it turns out he is just scoring really well. Granted, he did play the Eels here, so this was always going to be a scary matchup for people who didn't have him. We'll see how he goes from here. I probably wouldn't bring him in at 750k. You could start looking at a Latrell or even a Tedesco. I think the ship sailed on Gutho. He does have these big scores in him, but he is not proven over a stretch of time in this Dragon side. This Dragon side isn't proven yet. They've had some good wins and they've been a bit consistent, but it's still very early in the season. I don't want to put nearly $1 million of my salary cap gambling on them not doing what they do every year and shitting the bed after Origin. So, Hope Stewart, he's doing just fine. Break even of 3, making some nice money. He'll be a decent flip eventually. Lomax scoring to his value as well, so it doesn't look like he's going to bottom out too much for us. But there also has been reports of him moving to the wing, so he becomes more of a target if we see that happen. And obviously with Moses coming back as well, that boosts all the stocks of Eels players as well. Titans Dolphins. Tino had a very shaky start to this game. He got a sin bin. He was on, I think, like 9 or something at halftime. It was looking rough. So for him to come back and end on a 67, I'm very, very happy with. Campbell with a 52, that's fine. They only scored 10 points. Dolphins were just up for this one. I think they could smell that this was their first win of the season, potentially. So they call the Titans out, but I'm confident that Campbell's scores will get better over time. For people who might be tempted with the Sarko, my experience with him whenever I've had him is that you get one of these scores and then you hold him waiting for the next one. And it's 30s, 40s, maybe a 60 if you're lucky. And you hold him, you hold him, you hold him, and sometimes the next ton just doesn't come. This is better signs from the Dolphins. But a Sarko at, he's pretty cheap. Maybe if we can get him below 500k, then we look at him and we'll take the draw into consideration. We'll start taking into where he covers in Origin buys. And don't know if we'd be targeting many of the other Broncos. You'd expect to see an 100 when the Broncos score 46 points, but not the case. However, a 52 for Pakes we take. He's pushing that break even further and further down. So a few videos ago I said I started with the 2 worst hookers, but it was just that I missed out on Starling. These guys are doing a job for me. They're making money. Pakes is a good scoring option. I'm not upset. You can see our captain Payne Haas here. Look, it's not ideal, but I didn't have Gutho to captain. I could have straight seed Cleary, but he's coming back from he's not coming back from injury, but I'm just not that sold on the Panthers, which evidently was a clear hunch, but Cleary just seems to score well anyway. The other front row forward captain option was only 20 points more, so I didn't really lose out that much. It's fine. Taylor May with a decent score, which is what we come to expect from him. Shibasaki with a little bit more of a lackluster score here. Still got the negative 50 break even. He'll continue to make money. I think he may even get up towards 600k with a break even like that at this price. 1 or 2 more tries, he'll touch 600k, maybe more, which is crazy. Gashevsky owners, rough. Still got the negative break even, so it's okay. He's not too much of a problem. He could come out next week and fix that up for you, but yeah, I'm glad I didn't buy him. Piakora hasn't had a game this season where he hasn't had a sin bin or something, hasn't he? Get it together, bro. For the Sharks, for the Tigers, bit of a line through it game with their outs. Really not much to go over here. Toa had a good game, but he's already rising. I don't think you're bringing him in for that price. I got emails giving me shit about this game. You cheeky fuckers. Bringing it back to 24 makes it hurt a little bit less, but the boys, they need to be better. This is a wake-up call. Jerome Hughes was amazing. Cameron Munster was amazing. Having him and Munster and Pap in my team also softened the blow for this one. And Hamoli's late effort and Hopper Whitey got some unicorn points there. I'm not sure what he did to get up to there, but for the situation, I'm so happy with these two scores, especially because Hopper Whitey is more of a pod. A lot of the 1% is going to have Garrick, so I'm not too concerned about that. I feel like my poddish players did relatively well this week, so I'm not too upset with the 1200 I've got. Wishart's starting to score very low again, so Jerome Hughes is back, so that's expected. We may see him bottom out in time for Origin Munster you'd think is going to get selected, and you'd think Harry Grant's going to get selected. Wishart will come in, and I think he'll be a play. Nico Hines, I don't want to sell over the Origin period because he's going to be coming up against starless teams if he doesn't get picked. So maybe we go Wishart out for Munster. Hughes did seem to take the reins after Origin last year, even when Munster was back. So we'll have to look into that further. Eli Katoa having an amazing game as well. Another guy I really want on my team. Very expensive though. And the final game, I didn't even watch this. I found this game boring as fuck. Ponga with a 35. Preston with a 70. Karaz with a 60. So scoring just below his value. Maybe not quite a pickup just yet. Saifidi with a 0. Not sure what happened to him. I saw James Schiller got a head knock. This is why I don't want Best. He's prone to a 25. Granted, when Best scores a 25, Pong is probably going to score a 35. That doesn't seem unusual. But yeah, just a bit of a meh game here. The video schedule is going to get a little bit rocky from here. I've got Reno guys showing up this morning to do the bathroom. So the missus and I have to move out for the week. So I'm not going to have my setup for the week. I'll do what I can. If I can just record a video with my phone and my laptop, I'll do it. But it's already a bit of a race sometimes to get these videos out, even when my schedule isn't completely all over the place. So I'll do my best. May just take it as a nice little week off to relax. So I will get one video out before Thursday so that you guys have a video to comment bets on, and I'll still put those on. Just probably a bit less of the analysis until I'm back at my setup. I think par for this week is probably around 1200. So because I'm pushing top 100, that's not going to be good enough. I will get red arrows, but for the majority of people, I think a 1200 is about par. You may go up or down a little bit. An 1100, maybe you go down a little bit. Anything above a 1200, I think you've done pretty good. There was some good scores in there, so there's potential for 1300s, 1500s. It seems like every week there's someone that pushes a 1600, so we'll keep an eye out for the team of the week. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate yous. Hooroo.